It's interesting that this Rocketman movie's come out. You're not in it. You know, you don't make any. There's no reference to you. It's like you didn't exist, really. I mean, does that upset you?
Well, sometimes I wonder if he's forgotten about me. I mean, it was a long time ago, and he's such a superstar now.
So tell us a little bit about your relationship. How did you meet? How long were you together? How did you decide to get married? Did he propose? Do you still have the ring?
I do still have the ring, yes. I was living in Sheffield at the time, and a friend of mine called me and said that Long John Baldry was performing at the Fiesta Club. Would I like to go? And so I said yes. So after the show, they all came and sat at our table, and I started talking to Reg, and I asked him if he'd been to Sheffield before and had he seen the moors and everything. And if he wanted me to show him around, I'd be only too happy to do it. Mm. And they were having another 2 shows up in North England, and he asked me to go with him. After the 2 shows, he went back to London. I stayed in Sheffield, but we still corresponded, and I went down several weekends and stayed with him in Pinner.
And how long were you together, Linda?
To London. Almost 2 years.
So it was a significant amount of time.
Oh, yes.
And
yes.
Were you in love with each other?
I know that for sure, and I think he was too, yes. I mean, the relationship was going smooth. We just kind of decided, I think everything happened very quickly. You know, we decided to get married. We went and we found a flat in Mill Hill. We bought furniture for it. I went off to the antique store and bought myself an engagement ring because neither he or Bernie had any money, so I was kind of having to support them. His mother had ordered the wedding cake, and it's true what the song says. He did come back at 4 o'clock in the morning and tell me that it was over.
Did he break your heart, Linda?
Yes, I was kind of devastated because, you know, we'd planned so much for the wedding, and then suddenly he comes in and says, sorry, it's all over. And he goes and he stays the night in Bernie's room, and then his stepfather came the next morning and took them both away, and that was the last time I've actually ever seen Reg.
The last time you saw him? So he broke off the engagement, and you never saw him again? Did you ever hear from him again? Did he ever try and contact you?
Never, never, never. I did see him. My boss took me to a concert of his. He was appearing at the American Airlines Stadium in Dallas, and we went to watch the concert. And that was the first time I actually saw him walk on stage, and I have to admit I did get a little choked.
It's an amazing story, this. I mean, obviously now Elton, you know, he came out as a gay man quite a long time ago now. Did you have any inkling when you were with him that perhaps he might be gay or anything like that?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I know he was a virgin. I know that. But no, I had no inkling at all.
I mean, to watch somebody that was not very well known at the time, obviously, I mean, at all, with no money, become this sort of rock icon, somebody beloved around the world who's got hundreds of millions of dollars and so on. What have you made of Elton's meteoric rise ever since he left you?
I'm very happy for him. I never actually believed that he would become such a superstar as he is. I mean, we used to go to Dick James' studio a lot. Bernie used to write the words, and then Reg would write the music. So they would go and rehearse there. Of course, I was with him when your song came out, but I just never imagined that he would be the superstar, as I say, he is today.
What are your feelings, Linda, toward when you see Elton now with David Furnish, obviously his husband, and he's down in Cannes and launching this movie of his life, but the movie of his life doesn't include a woman that he had this very long relationship with, that he proposed to and then basically jilted just before you got to the altar. What do you feel about him? I mean, can you feel a joy for him, or do you feel quite confused about it?
Well, I've never felt bitter. I was bitter, obviously, the night that it happened, but I've never kind of resented it.
Do you find happiness? Did you fall in love again?
I did. Unfortunately, I think it was on the rebound. The marriage didn't last very long. I haven't been that successful with men for some reason, I don't know.
Do you think that's partly because your heart was broken at a moment when you thought your future was mapped out?
I think so. I think, yes. And I always feel very sad, you know, that it didn't go through. We didn't get married. I mean, I really genuinely loved Reg.
I mean, it must be extraordinary to, everywhere you go, be reminded of somebody that you were so in love with, who broke your heart. I mean, as you say, you can't even go to a supermarket without hearing Elton John music.
No.
You can't. There's no escaping it, is there?
And the two doctors that I work for are Elton John fans too, so we have his music playing in the clinic all the time. So I can't escape it. It's on the radio. It's in the supermarket. So, you know, it's never out of my mind. He's always in the back of my mind.
How would you feel if Elton sees this interview? I know he watches the show occasionally. If he sees this interview and it does prick his conscience a bit, would you like to hear from him?
Yes, I would, very much so. I don't know what I would say to him, but yes, I would like to see him.
Well, I suppose you might want to say that you love him.
Well, it's too late now, isn't it? He's married.
As a forgiving friend.
Oh, yes. There's no resentment. As I say, there's certainly no bitterness.
Well,
it would be a joyous meeting if we did meet, I'm sure.
It would be nice, wouldn't it? It would be nice. I mean, Elton, you know, notoriously through his life fell out with a lot of people, including his mother. For a very long period of time.
Yes, you would have known that relationship.
So on. When you read stories like that about his rift with his mum and so on, given that you stayed with them at their house, what did you feel about that?
I was very sad, actually. I didn't actually know about it till just recently. He was very much a mother's boy, and I was very surprised that he had a falling out with her. But I'm very glad that they did get back together before she passed.
Yeah. Well, look, it's an amazing story.
She was a very nice lady.
Yeah, well, you seem a very nice lady too.
Really
Linda.
do.
I have to be honest, you're very dignified.
Well, thank you.
It's a very, you know, it must be an incredibly difficult thing to have gone through what you went through and then have to be reminded of it. Every paper, magazine, especially now with the biopic coming out, it's all going to be Elton mania in the media, and you're going to be sitting there in Dallas being reminded of actually a very painful time in your life.
Well, the movie doesn't come out till the 31st here.
Yeah.
So you've got a couple of weeks, Grace.
Yes, but we will be going to see the movie when it comes out.
Oh, you will? You're going to go to the cinema and watch it?
Oh, yes, of course I will.
Oh, I love it. Your attitude is brilliant, Linda.
Yeah.
Are you wearing the engagement ring now?
I am.
Oh.
This is the ring.
Yeah.
It's an antique ring, and it's old, so it's double its antique. It's a bit scratched and worn, but it's just something that I've managed to keep.
And what's your favourite Elton John song?
Wow, I like Tiny Dancer.
Yeah.
I like Philadelphia Freedom. Oh my gosh, there's so many of them.
Yeah.
I like all of them, to be honest.
Is your song a particularly lovely memory for you, or is that too difficult to listen to?
No, I love that song.
Yeah,
I love it.
That was around the time, wasn't it, of your split?
Exactly. I was with my father, and I said to him, Daddy, I said, Elton, you know, Reggie's song's going to come up. So we listened to it on the radio. I think it was the first night it was ever played. And he said, that's not bad. And of course it became so popular.
One of the biggest hits of all time. Linda, it's been lovely talking to you. And you're a very dignified lady. And I think the way you've talked about it with such remarkable warmth, given what went on, is a great testament to you and the kind of person you are. So thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Well, thank you very much.